AyoGG, welcome to a brand new episode of the AyoGG podcast in the Girls. I almost said Girls Planet. Queendom Puzzle special edition is, of course, what I want to say. That other mnet show that is currently playing. And we are once again going to check out talk about the newest episode of Queendom Puzzle. Today, episode number 3. And with we, I mean, as always, not just myself, but also my friend Payne. Welcome.
Hello.
Now, what happened in episode number 3 of Queendom? We started with, as always, a little throwback into the last episode. This one focused quite a lot on the pick and drop phase that we had there. No big surprise there because, of course, that's the thing where we got the most drama out of everything in the last episode. And after that, we switched relatively fast into the actual interesting part of today's episode, which was the first time of our upcoming Signal song teams coming together and talking about the distributions of the lines, of the parts, and so on and so on. And before we really dive into this, there's one thing that really annoyed me. Like, if one group in an mnet show ever calls themselves Avengers ever again, I'm seriously losing my shit. There's one Avengers team that is season 1, Produce 101, okay? Besides that, Avengers are dead. Can we agree on that, please? Thank you. Now, what happened in this part of Queendom Puzzle? Well, first we checked out the charismatic teams, and the first of those was Team Pick. So the ones that were actually selected by G1. Yes, G1 was Team Charismatic. And basically what we saw there was Cheon instantly, and I really mean instantly, taking over the leader position of this entire group and started to teach them the choreo. Like, she even, while the others were out grabbing something to eat, Cheon stayed back and learned the choreography so she would be able to teach the other members, which she did, the way it seemed, at least quite well in this short time that it actually lasted. Short, why? Because, of course, Cheon left the show for, how Mnet called it, personal reasons. We don't really know much more about it. The same, of course, applies to Hain from the drop team of Charismatic, which is, by the way, an interesting coincidence, if you ask me, that both members that drop out of the show belong to both Charismatic teams. Yeah. I'm not saying that Mnet helped there. But no. But seriously, this is just something that really, popped into my brain instantly when I realized that both of them were in the charismatic team. That was just really convenient that happened, because that way, of course, we still had a pretty fair matchup with 6 versus 6 instead of 7 versus 6, or even imagine if both of them would have been in one team, like 7 versus 5 or something like this. What else happened there? Not really that much, honestly. We got a little confession from Jiwoo in Team Pick of Charismatic. She said, "I'm slow in learning new dance moves." And this is the important part of this. She said, "I lack confidence." I got pissed again. This is a problem in Mnet shows, the lack of confidence. And Mnet, once again, I know you listen to these podcasts. Once again, here my application as head of confidence in your upcoming survival show. Probably Girls Planet, whatever number you're going to put behind that. So I'm here. Just tell me when, and I'll be there. Just to put it out there. And next up, we jumped into Charismatic Team Drop. Really interesting thing here in this team was that absolutely no one of the members there was eager to become a rapper of this group. It felt quite awkward when they tried to figure out who would basically sacrifice herself to take up the rapper position. The way it was edited, at least, it felt like everything they had to decide took ages and ages. But in the end, it looked like Yeonhee was actually the one who took over the leader position. And from the few snippets that we have seen, it felt like she was quite a talented and a charismatic leader for the group. What do you think about this? Do you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, I would join that, because as far as I know her, she really, really knows how to lead. And I guess she just fits like these attributes as a character. So yeah, I guess she's a very like she might not be the best leader in some regards, but I guess she's a very easy to approach leader, like for especially shows like that.
Which is not a bad trait, especially in shows like this when you are thrown together with people you maybe don't know that well. If you're easy to approach, that could help quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, by the way, one question I need to ask you.
Yeah.
Are you recording too yourself?
I'm recording as well.
Nice, perfect. Guys, just ignore what I just asked. This was prior to the podcast. Okay, just ignore this. Okay, next up, we actually already jumped into a bit of a charismatic music video shootings for both of the teams, and it was interesting play of mnet there, because both teams actually met in the same room. The couches were right next to each other. And G1, the one who had the puzzle rights in their last episode, so the one who decided on those teams, arrived on the left side, and basically at least almost all of the other members of the drop team arrived also. So we had this short moment where G1 was completely alone with all of those members, so that she had, that she had dropped basically, which was 100% another attempt of mnet to build up some drama, which did not really work. I have to say here, like, none of them really played along with that game of mnet. So I could really imagine the producer sitting behind the camera being a bit pissed in that moment.
Yeah.
Because I admit the setup was not bad. The setup could have worked. But then it was already shooting time, and there is not that much to point out in the shooting phase of the music video here for the Charismatic team. Maybe besides, Team Pick started with surprisingly many errors in the choreography. Like, the formation was kind of off. And they got criticized quite a bit for that, which is, of course, something that, to say it in the spirit of mnet, that you would not dare to believe from the Pig team, because it's the Pig team, you know, the technically superior one, which is basically a trope that is getting used in every mnet show ever. So that was nothing new, basically. I wouldn't even be surprised if the exactly same thing happened with the drop team, but mnet decided to not show it, because that way it is just much more interesting. If you think, oh my god, is the Pig team? Oh my god, will they fall? Is this the moment where the Pig team falls? Another another moment where mnet desperately tried to build up drama is when the rain started for the Pig team. Because you had the girls standing there, and suddenly the most dramatic music you can imagine started to play in the background. And we even had a little scene of Nana not being able to open her eyes and stuff like this. And I remember us sitting there being like, what the fuck, mnet? Like, what kind of drama are you seriously trying to build there right now? I mean, I imagine it being cold there when there are girls standing there in those pretty like short outfits in the rain and everything. But seriously, I did not believe anything that happened there. Like the drama that Mnet tried to build out of this super technically honestly lame situation was really impressive and kind of showed that Mnet was quite desperate, that they knew that they didn't have much to show in that part, so they tried to build something out of that. And honestly, in my opinion, the rain was kind of like a big plus for the pig team, because in the music video, this part looks amazing, in my opinion. So, do you want to add something to the shooting of the charismatic teams?
Nope, not yet.
All right, then we jump right to Team Snap, and they also, of course, had this little pre-shooting phase where we saw Mnet trying to build a rival. Maybe kind of to establish the really small, subtle foundations of a rivalry between Wiso and Rina. Because we have seen Wiso getting teary-eyed and Rina trying to comfort her. Since both of them chose Snap, but both of them are in different Snap teams. Wiso in the drop team and Rina in the Snap team. In the pig team, I mean. And since they are normally in the same group in High-Key, Mnet tried to do something there, but it didn't really work out. Wiso and Rina were just too nice to each other. Which, once again, I see the producer in the back, like, with his fist in his pockets, like, damn it. But let's see how this storyline will continue. Then in the drop team, we saw them distributing the parts, and that, happened pretty damn fast. Like, basically, instantly, all of them agreed on K being the main vocal. Which was no surprise. And what was interesting is that Ellie, Judy, and Faye volunteered for being the rappers of the song, because in this song, as you can already guess from that one, we need three rappers for the song. And in the pig team, Border, of course, already took the rappers she wanted and put them into the team, basically leaving the drop team without any kind of like real rapper. But I was happy to see that Ellie, Judy, and Faye were like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do it. We can do that. There's no need for much drama here. We're all in the same boat. Someone has to do it, and or in that case, we are confident enough to do it. I really liked to see that. What I did not like to see, however, was Wiso standing in the back during the practice, quite alone. She looked sad in a way, and sad music was playing, and we saw all the other girls in the front talking with each other. And of course, instantly the thought were like, oh no, does Wiso hate this team? Is she so disappointed not being in Pig that she now hates everyone in Drop? Turns out, no. She was just in her own little world trying to memorize the choreo, which thankfully she did, because it looks like all the others didn't. At least she was the one who had correct all the other members, and then even basically took over the part of dance leader for Team Drop. And it looked like she was leading the team really well, which is interesting because in High-Key, she is not the leader. She's even the newest member in the group. So this is quite interesting to see that she definitely has leader abilities. Which showed here. Another interesting thing that we saw in the Snap team, unlike in the Charismatic team, correct me if I'm wrong there, but in the Snap team, we actually also saw snippets of them in the recording booth. For the Charismatic team, we didn't see it. And here was, again, a part where Mnet was like, okay, here is drama potential. Here is rivalry drama potential. And what they did is, we saw Kay standing in a recording booth and kind of actively participating in improving the song. She was standing there and suggesting more high notes. She raised the pitch of her part together with Ryan. And kind of improved the quality of the song in those parts. Cut to the Snap team. there was basically the same situation with Bora. She was standing in the booth and also tried to change up multiple parts. She wanted to raise the pitch. She tried to put in falsetto. She wanted to use her original voice at some parts, but Ryan basically declined everything that Bora wanted to do. And at the end, I don't know about you, but for me, at the end, it felt a bit like he was annoyed by her. By her constantly suggesting to maybe that would be better, that would be better. Which was sad to see because Bora knows what she's doing, okay. But I do get that some of the parts that Bora suggested really sounded a bit off. So we don't know how long this went on, this back and forth between Ryan and Bora. So maybe it took much longer than we saw. And then I can imagine Ryan just being like, God, sing it like I intended it, okay? Just sing it like that. But it was interesting to see this big difference between Kay in the recording booth and Bora, who really tried to keep up with the changes that Kay did, but got declined all of that, which maybe already predicted the future. I don't know. What else happened there? I guess there's only one more two interesting things to point out. And because we got Bora the whole time being quite confident, because why shouldn't she? She was the one who put together the pick team. She decided on the members and had a clear image of how the group should look like, sound like, and everything. And then when we saw them practice together, we saw Bora struggle quite a lot with the choreography. She messed up multiple parts, wasn't like, didn't know the moves, executed the moves wrongly compared to the other members, got corrected a lot by the dance teacher. I still would assume that this happened to basically all of the members, but we saw it at least from Bora, which of course should kind of like hurt this image of Bora being the absolute superior girl in this competition that kind of got built up during the first episodes. And the last interesting thing that I want to point out there, because it kind of fits into this competition narrative that is trying to build there, we saw that Rina and Huiso both got the exact same part in Snap. Which is quite interesting and of course perfect for a little drama later on, ? Now, the Snap shooting, surprisingly, compared to the pretty smooth recording of the song and line distribution, we saw Team Drop struggling a bit with the details of the choreo. They bumped into each other, and they didn't really feel like a team yet in the first part, but during this the shooting, they gradually grew and got better and worked better as a team together. Team Pick, however, seemed pretty damn confident and smooth in everything they were doing. They were spying on the Snap team multiple times, which was really interesting to see how spying on them raised their morale, basically, and they got more confident after looking at them. And which again kind of builds up this potential of the bigger they, the higher they rise, the harder they fall, basically. The narrative Mnet laughs like nothing else. Another thing that Mnet laughs like nothing else are the experts. The expert judges in its shows. Because we got, once again, some of those. The expert judges for Queendom Puzzle, at least for this round of Queendom Puzzle, are among others, Minhyuk and Ungwang of B2B, Hyolyn, we have Ryan, and so on and so on. Multiple faces that we have seen there, and they were there for the evaluation of the Snap and Charismatic music videos that they have previously recorded. the team that in the end would get the most votes from the expert team and, really important, the contestants, the other contestants, they also got to evaluate the music videos, would be winning 10,000 points. And also for each and every team, there would be one MVP chosen. And the MVP of the winning team, it's starting to get a bit complicated, guys, but hang in there. The MVP of the winning team would get the puzzle rights for the next round. Now, before we jump into the votes that these teams actually got, do you want to maybe shortly give your opinion once again on Snap and Charismatic before we jump into the opinion of the others?
Yeah, sure. So overall, I guess I can say for like that's something I guess we don't have that often in our podcasts, but now few weeks are gone, and I can say basically both songs kind of grew at me. Even Snap a bit more, but like it was always a bit further for me than Charismatic. But I can say, I guess overall, I really like both songs. So yeah, I just chose to. So I chose one version of like each song for me to put in a playlist. I could have go for two, but nah, that's not a way. So I've just watch the performances again, and yeah, to make a little breakdown once again. So overall for Snap, like I really liked for the Athena team, I really liked how like Key handled the vocal parts, especially.
Yeah.
Overall, what I really loved for that team and why I have to give it to like the drop team. Overall, I would say after watching it again and listening to it again, I guess for me it's like that the Athena team is the better one as well. Like, and there is like one crucial thing I would say, and this is like I really love the vocal line that the drop team had, and that was a very important part for me actually. Like with Judy, Riso, Kay, and Ellie, it's amazing. Especially like in the bridge, you can really hear how important the vocal line is, in my opinion. Cause for me, like the pick team lagged a bit, especially in that part, and that part was very huge. And I also think like something they said while judging, I guess I can kind of agree to it. The Fina team overall, especially sound wise, sounded a bit more like fitting as a group, I would say. Even if like the pick team maybe has some parts where individual they carried the parts better. Like as example, I think Boda didn't really fit into like the group vocal wise like Kay did in like her group. Like I really think like sound wise, it really was for me like that the Athena team overall, sounded just all around better, and so I decided like to put them in my Spotify playlist overall, and
when you say that Bora that Kay sounded better there in this part than Bora, I feel like a make and break point for this was actually what we saw in the show when they were in the recording booth, where we saw Kay being able to really bring her ideas into that and kind of tailor certain parts to her voice to make it fit her voice better, whereas Bora had to completely follow the original sound of the song, which in the end may be a disadvantage for this team. Because she was not able to fully adapt it to her voice like Kay was. I think this could actually be a make or break point for this part especially.
Yeah, I think so as well, because you could clearly hear that yeah, Kay did it really like did a version on her own, right? You can really hear it, especially if you like listen to both songs like after the other one. You can really hear the difference that makes it what she chose to do. So I don't know if you like have I just wrote out two MVPs like for both groups. I really liked the most in the performances. For like the Athena team was for me Wiso, and for like the Pig team, I guess it was Yoram. That really like performance wise. It's not something like just listening. I think performance wise, of course, you can like. It's a bit you have to give it to mnet. Like they can cut it in a video how they want, right? Because we have no live stage or something. It's all like how they do in the camera work and so on. But I think Yolum did really really nice there, and I guess her tone she sang was really really fitting with the song. So I guess like Wiso and Yoroma were Yoroma.
Yadama!
It's again in my head. Yeah, for the snap performance is like my two MVPs. I don't know if you have like for each team an MVP you want to share.
I can definitely do that. One thing I want to say privia though,
Mhm.
if you guys are interested in knowing like our relatively fresh opinions on both of the songs, we already said that in episode 0
Yes.
of this podcast series. So if you're interested, go there and jump to the part via the chapters that are provided in there for you, where we are discussing both of the songs and all 4 performances, because there's actually quite something interesting. I think, if I remember correctly, that my opinion on which song I like more has changed since then to now.
I guess I can agree. If you like Snap now more, then I can agree. I
No,
remember.
actually,
No?
within Snap, I think I
Oh.
actually enjoyed Snap of the pick group
Yes.
before more
That's
than
true.
of the drop group, and that
Mhm.
has changed for me personally
Mhm.
over the time, which is interesting. But yeah, MVP for me, or for Snap, definitely Wiso.
Mhm.
For Snap, yeah. For Drop, for
Okay.
Athena team, and for Picket, I would actually say Rena. There, I
Ooh.
really enjoyed it. So again, the same positions.
Yeah.
Though I definitely I want to point out Sanger also in the Picket team because she really caught my eyes multiple times
Ooh. Okay.
during
Nice.
that performance. I really enjoyed her there.
Very good.
So, but yeah, basically, the two Heike girls
Yeah.
have been my MVPs for this one. And yeah, I can basically agree to most of the stuff that you have also said. I don't know what exactly changed, but the more I listen to the two Snap versions, the more the more I have to start the sentence like this. Sorry. The more how do I say this? Gritty.
Mhm.
For me, the Athena team felt more gritty. They weren't as polished as the Pig team, and that is exactly what over the time elevated the Athena team over the Pig Cat team, because it suits this kind of song just much more if you have if it's not like completely round this entire performance, you know,
Mhm.
if you look at it and there's like nothing where you can really say, yeah, I mean, this is good, yeah, this is good, and this is good, but yeah, this is basically the Pig Cat performance for me, but the Athena performance is like, and this is fascinating, and this is kind of unique, and the more you listen to those parts, the more intriguing they get, and the more they kind of draw you in
Mhm.
combination with, I feel like, the attitude they had in the music video. They just felt different. They felt more eager to win, and that is just suited this entire theme of Snap much more, which is why I would say that Athena definitely is the better song. And I also agree, Kay just completely nailed her parts and gave this a complete new twist the parts that she has basically the same as Bora. K's part just sounds so much more interesting due to her voice. Faye's rap, the more I listen to her rap, the more and more I fall in love with the parts she's performing there. And yeah, Wiso is just her entire attitude that she is bringing over in the song. Her voice sounds amazing. And I mean, the lip bite is a fucking seller. So yeah. But also, really definitely want to point out Ellie. I mean, she was put in there as a rapper. But every time she's actually vocalizing, I'm completely over the moon. So yeah, that's why I also say Athena has won this round, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So charismatic, I guess.
Charismatic.
All right. So the thing for like charismatic, they haven't changed that much, I would say. One thing I want to point out, I guess that makes maybe a bit more sense. Like how it is. Like in the episode, I think in the episode it was really like they showed so less from like the actual performance, and we're just cutting out like 2 or 3 people. This literally couldn't really help me at all. Like it was so important for me to watch like the whole performances on my own, because that was what was shown like in the episode was so bad. It was so bad. It didn't help anything. Like when I decided in the episode, I was like, I don't know. I guess I just decided from like my first time when I was watching it still, but that really did not help overall. And when I watched the performance after it again, then yeah, I could like find stuff for myself, which might intrigue me more or something. I guess that's overall not a thing like mnet wanted, like show us the full performance or something. But it was just a thing. Yeah, I want to point out that I guess it's hard to rate just based on what they showed in the episode, for real. Yeah. And like for charismatic, there hasn't changed that much. I would just say like what for the drop team fit the most, or what I have to say is like that Sora and Suyun like stand out the most based on, in my opinion, I guess, like to get the or to present the like the right feeling, the right genre. It's hard to explain, but I guess in an episode, one of the producers from Charismatic said, yeah, the concept behind Charismatic is like thought to be like that or like that. And I have to say, many like of the members that are in like the charismatic groups and charismatic songs tend to be a bit like or might tend to be a bit too hard on like giving a slightly cuter vibe or something, what's not really intended, because it's more intended to be like this. I don't know if you can remember what they said, but it's more like this mature.
I feel like I don't remember, but I would say the overall song is more refreshing
and still mature
than cute. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have like some girls like wearing pigtails, what not a bad thing is, and it does not have to be cute 100%, but with like what they're kind of known for sometimes, or yeah, just how their style is, and maybe some of them are even like not that old right now and just give some vibe off. And I think Suyun and Jor stand the most out of if it just comes to like still look really like mature or have a mature style and vibe overall. And I guess that like where from all I saw were the two that stood out the most. But that's like for the drop team, the only thing I can really point out. I think overall that Sora and Suyun really like fit the song with their voices from the drop team the most. But yeah, I guess like in the drop team, there was like the high note as well, where it was like a bit like, that does not really sound, yeah, like that well in my opinion, and so I really couldn't, yeah, take out something from there for that. And for the pick team, I guess they're like, I guess they're for like, how do I explain this? I guess G1 really picked a good team for that. Like, they really sounded overall around very, very well. I guess like the rap parts with Jiu as example was super nice, and we have like Nana as well, like with a bit of rapping skills. They had like vocally, they could carry it vocally very, very well. I guess Chian as example was very nice in the pick team. I guess she carried, or in my opinion, she carried the like high notes or higher notes very well. I really, really liked it how she sang it in on that song. Which is by the way an improvement as well. Like what I like had to criticize in like her early times from Weekly. I guess she really like could adapt to like the higher vocal register. I really, really liked it there. Yeah, then Nana's like when Nana was in the camera, it was like she was so captivating. I really, really loved it. And it's such that's just a concept that really fits her as well. So like was very refreshing. Yeah, and I guess especially like vocal wise, the combination out of Chian and Uyeon was very, very nice for like the pick team. MVP wise, I would say for the pick team it's Nana for me, and for the drop team it's Zoa for me.
Well, Charismatic, I'll keep that relatively short because I'll be completely honest with you all. I'm not a big fan of the song. The song really, by now, it completely lost me. Back then, I was still, yeah, maybe it could. It didn't. It didn't develop much love in my heart. It's just, yeah, it's okay. It's overall an okay song, I would rate it. Because I'm still, this high pitched flute still annoys the shit out of me. And overall, the beat team did pretty well, I would say. I was a bit disappointed with the team vocal wise, because I felt they, especially compared to the pick team, they were just flat. The voices were flat. They didn't transport or a real, not even proper, but just a real feeling for me that the song is supposed to have. I didn't really get the song when they were singing it. The other team, however, really convinced me with their vocals of the song, despite me not being the biggest fan of it, but I appreciate that they gave the song a bit of, yeah, basically charisma. A bit of, a bit of charisma there. That was completely missing for me in the vocals of the drop team. However, I actually, and this is something that surprised me based on the members, I enjoyed the performance of the drop team more. Reason for that is because all of the members in the drop team, for me, they felt simply more like a team than the others did. They were all, I felt like on the same level in a way. They had the same feeling. They felt quite refreshing the whole time. I really liked their facial expressions. and they all blend in with each other really, really well. The Pig team, however, felt for me more like, the best of, you pick, they're a perfect member, and they're one, and they're one, they're one, they're one, and you just mash them together, and in the end you have a team which is, maybe if you just take the members like separately, better. But if you look at them as a team, I have constantly someone like standing out too much. Like I never feel like, okay, this is one team. They really belong together. I see basically 7 individuals performing the same choreo, the same song there, which kind of bothers me in a way. And this is something I simply don't have with the drop team. There it feels like, this is one team that may be lacking in the vocal part, but for the choreo, I gotta give it to them. But since I'm more of a vocal guy, I would also go with the Pig team as my personal favorite there. And MVP, for the Pig team, I'd say Nana. And for the other team, I would probably go with actually Yeonhee.
Ooh.
I really like Yeonhee in this. But for this team, as I said, because I really felt like they are one team and they all did really well, it's pretty close between all of them. But I feel like Yeonhee, every time when she was in the front, I smiled a slight bit more than with the others. Yeah, that would be my personal opinion there.
All right.
The opinion of the others, of the contestants and the actual professionals that we are most certainly not, is as follows. For the Charismatic team, we have 21 votes for Team Pick and 6 votes for Team Drop, which means Team Pick has won the voting, and MVP of Team Pick is with 7 votes, Nana. Also, the experts said that Team Pick had a better teamwork. So the exact opposite of what I just said. Just to put it into perspective here for you all. And Team Drop. Oh my god. I mean, I wrote all of that down, okay? Before giving my statement, and I see that they completely said the opposite of me. Team Drop, Ryan said that. Ryan said that. Team Drop was exceptionally better in vocals. Okay, so just so you know what you have to think of my opinions on this matter. That is what Team Charismatic got. And Nana MVP and Team Pick has won. And for Team Snap, we got the plot twist. Because Team Drop has won with all expert votes. All of the expert votes went to Team Drop for the Snap performance. MVP with 1 vote difference was Wisso for Team Drop. And one of the experts even said Snap is totally Team Drop's song, which I agree. I really have to agree to that. And for Team Pick. Oh my god, I can't speak today. I'm so sorry. For Team Pick, we got 1 quote. The team is well balanced, but why was Team Drop more attractive? And this basically what we also said, like, or what I said earlier, I don't know. Team Pick, it felt overall really, it felt good. Like, there was nothing we can say that was bad or that was not good. It was all good. But these nuances that Team Drop had, that made Team Drop just more interesting. That is what, in the end, made Team Drop more intriguing and interesting. And that's why they voted. And I think both teams, I can totally agree with the picks who of the both experts and the contestants. And now it was, of course, time that the two MVPs, Wiso and Nana, are starting their actual work, because it was time for the remix battle. And those two, of course, have the right to puzzle the teams together. Now, what is the remix battle? The remix battle is, maybe you can already guess it, they're going to cover famous K-pop songs and kind of give them their own spin, their own taste, their own new style. And this time the audience, the live audience, that unfortunately we weren't part of, got to vote which performance was better, which was worse, and so on and so on. And the members from the winning team will get 20,000 points, so double the points they got for the previous battle. And the MVPs are now allowed to distribute the members. But important thing, right here, right now, in the same room with all of them, so that the fists can fly if needed. At least that was probably what Mnet hoped would happen. So yeah, in the end, we got a little board on which we saw, let me count, I think 5 songs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs. Of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 songs. From which no one could choose except the Puzzle Girls, because they were able to first place themselves in one of those songs, and then they draw cards one after another, and they could just put these members wherever they wanted. The others hadn't have any say in that, except when everything was over, all the girls that were in a winning team were able to oppose the sorting of the two Puzzle Girls. However, the two were able to just say, shut up, and decline their proposition to change their position. And now, the 6 songs were Nude by Idol, Fighting by 17, Shut Down by Blackpink, Only One by Boa, Don't Call Me by Shiny, and Dance the Night Away by Twice. Now, what were your first thoughts when you heard these songs, or when you read those songs?
I mean, especially like group wise, and so it's obviously in the ranking of popular great releases, right? So there was nothing special.
Maybe one thing that surprised a bit was Boa.
But
just because it's but it's not like the most recent song or something like this.
That's true.
That's why I was a bit surprised about that, and we don't get Boa that much. In these shows, so I was quite happy, because it's one of definitely the best songs Boa has ever made.
For sure. We have a decent amount of different genres. That's something that can Mnet pull off most of the time. So that was very cool as well. So yeah, I was kind of excited. Of course, there are songs like I'm not the biggest fan of, but as always in those shows, like I'm often very I get like if it comes to not just cover the song, if it comes to make a remix out of it, or a remake, or rearrange it, most of the time, like for songs I usually don't like, I can get more into them with a different style. So maybe this might happen here as well, I thought. So I was very like excited to see what's getting out make out of those songs.
I mean, hopefully, I really hope that they make great versions out of those, even out of the songs that I really enjoy.
Yes.
If I want to listen to the original, listen to the original. Okay, so give me something fresh, give me something new. And now
Safe.
let's go through each song and the contestants and state our opinions on those. Let's start with Nude by Idol originally. And here we have the team Nana, Jihan, Dowa, and Suyun. What do you think?
I have to say, based on that Nana put like them together how she liked, I really love it. This team, I can 100% agree with the thinking of like Nana, like what she expects. Yeah, when she just tell us what she expects about the team, I can really see this on my own as well. And yeah, so I really like it. Just out of the constellation, not the biggest fan of like Nude by Idol, right?
Which is a mistake on your end, honestly.
Exactly. But it's not a bad song as well. For me, it's like a really decent song. So yeah, really, really excited just based on the constellation she built together. Depends on what they want to make out of it, but just seeing it, really, really looking forward to it, especially because it's a sexy concept and having like Chian in there, having Nana in there. Whew.
That's exactly my thing. When she put Chian in there, I was like, okay,
Yes.
now that is interesting. Because of course, if you know like Weekly and I mean, what did Chian perform? She performed Pop by Neon, for example.
Yes.
So quite a different feel from Nude. So that was also something I really look forward to. I mean, Dowa for Nude, yeah. It's no brainer. I completely see that one. So yeah, I was also satisfied with this lineup and excited to see what that is exactly going to be.
Mhm.
And I mean, we already got that one. More to that later when we discuss what we actually thought about the performance of Nude. Next up, we have Fighting by 17. And in this team, we have Ellie, Jiwoo, Judy, Jui, Sujin, and Yuki. One interesting thing to point out here is that originally we didn't have Judy in this team, but Yodoma.
Mm-hmm.
And when Yodom got put into this team, she was not amused. Like, her face. I thought she would run up there and punch Huiso and Nana right in the face.
Yeah.
She didn't look pleased at all. But Judy, in the end, said that she wanted to change because she was previously in Don't Call Me by Shiny. And she switched into the fighting team. And she said herself, I would like to perform a happy song, like fighting, and surprise everyone. I didn't quite get this because I don't see where this is a surprise in any way. She performing fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Because before anyone was like put into those groups, and I would have thought, where would I put Judy? I would be like, yeah, fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I would put her there because it's a happy pill. It's funny. It's exciting. You can go completely goofy when you're performing this. I thought, yeah, Judy, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was just an interesting quote for me because that was so far away from surprise for me. But yeah, what do you think of the lineup for fighting?
Yeah, I'm going with that. If we like look at the lineup, I'm immediately like, okay, Judy and Eddie, I see them both so much on that. If I
I celebrated so hard for Ellie.
Yeah, if they can embrace a feeling for fighting, then these both people can nail it. Like for Yuki, I was like a bit like I can see how she could fit in this, but I was like, I wanted her to see in that how she's like.
I was also like, I
embracing
can
it.
imagine it, but I was like, nah, but she doesn't want it.
Exactly.
She doesn't want to be in fighting right now.
Exactly. I guess Jui as well. I can see her there. Like
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And Jiwoo. I mean it's Triple S had no things like that, but I can see her there just based on her personality. Jiwoo's personality is really fitting there. And yeah, Sujin can do something like that. I mean, it's like like she showed something in Weekly kind of similar to that, not in that extent, but yeah, I was really exciting to that. Yeah, there was
And
hmm?
no, say it.
There's a bit more like about the concept and stuff, but I guess I'm talking to that a bit like later on if we like come to that. But yeah, based on what the picks are, I guess it's not like okay, these 6 all are will nail it, but I was looking forward to it.
Yeah, and despite we are being like, yeah, I do see them there. 5 of them were like, Like, seriously, except Judy, no one was really happy with that
Yes.
pick. And how that played out, how they showed that we will discuss later on. Next up, we have the team Shutdown by Blackpink with Wiso, Faye, Sanga, and Rina. And I can already say this is almost my favorite team. Almost my favorite team.
Almost.
Almost. Why almost, you ask? More to that later. Shortly. But yeah. I mean, I really have to say, one reason for my lack of communication skills today is a severe lack of sleep. And the reason for that, guys, are actually Huiso and Rina, among 2 other girls, because I deep dived a bit into Hikey. And
The rabbit hole.
the freaking rabbit hole. And yeah, I'm a fan.
Okay.
Hikey, dude, Hikey is amazing. Holy shit. Huiso and Rina, amazing. And Zoe and Yell, the 2 others, adorable. I love them. Absolutely. If you're looking for a group to dive into, guys, Hikey. Do it. Go on their YouTube channel. Check out their videos. You will not regret it. Absolutely amazing. So, what do you think about this team?
I think this is like with the team where I think they fit the concept the most, just based on what the concept of Shutdown is. I'm not so much into Hikey, but seeing like Riso and Rina in like Snap shows me that side of them, and I love how they nailed it. And yeah, for like Sanga as well, like just the look and so, you know, like I guess they all just fit it just look wise and attitude wise, and that's something. Like when just your appearance and kind of the personality you love to do on stage fits like the song you have to cover, yeah, bro, then it's like memory.
And they are all also pretty satisfied. I mean, Wiso, I laughed the smile on Rina's face when Wiso just took her into her team. Was like, yes. So that was super cool. And also like Faye. If you look at Faye, when she is getting placed into Shutdown, she was over the moon. She was super happy about that. And I can really see that. I see definitely that we have here 4 girls that really are into the song, into the style, and want to show a great performance. I'm not the biggest fan of Shutdown. I really don't like the song, I'll be completely honest. But this team makes me really anticipated. Even though I think the version that they're going to create will, overall, it still will be in a way Shutdown. So I guess it won't be my favorite song of the day. But the performance, I'm so looking forward to this.
Definitely.
Like, boah. I'm getting wild looking at this this lineup. Okay, next up, we have Don't Call Me by Shiny with Miru, Wooyeon, Yorom, Yin, and Yin. What do you think?
So, members I immediately see like Yorom and Yin, I would say. I see Wooyeon based on like the the vocal parts, I guess the vocal parts, she can add a very nice twist to it. But overall, I have to say I can't really imagine it now.
Yeah, I also have to say this group is the biggest black box for me from all.
Yeah.
Like, when I look at this, I have no clue. I don't know what to expect. I don't know how this is going to sound, feel. Like, no freaking clue. For the others, I have a pretty clear idea how it could and probably will feel like, but this team, no idea. But it's exciting.
Yeah, I guess Miru is. I see her there as well, like just concept-wise. But overall, I'm super excited. I want to see it.
Concept-wise, with her experience of like NMB48, I would have seen Miru a lot in fighting. Because in fighting, like with a lot of crowd work, and just being happy and fun on stage, I really would have seen her there.
Safe.
But yeah. Okay. Next up we have Dance the Night Away, originally by Twice with Cherry Bullet. Basically, Jiwon, Bora, Cheddin. We have Soyeon and we have Yeonhee. Now, what the fuck happened here? We have that more than half of this team is Cherry Bullet. Explain.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Nana and Riso just wanted to see Cherry Bullet as a team.
Which I can understand, but...
Like, this is literally Cherry Bullet featuring Soyeon and Yeonhee.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you could just get the other Cherry Bullet members in there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't change much. Like,
true.
Also, the song, I mean, Dance the Night Away is pretty damn close to Cherry Bullet. Like, to overall Cherry Bullet feeling that they create in most of their songs. So, this is, on the one hand, I'm like, yay, I have Cherry Bullet. But on the other hand, this is not the idea of the show. And the girls themselves were also thinking exactly that. Like, Jiwon was so done. When she got put into Dance the Night Away, she was like, boah, no. Oh, this is the same shit I always do. And then Bora into this team. Bora was like, okay, yeah, sure. And then Sharon, right after another, Sharon in there and was, okay, fuck it. Like, I thought if there was a table, all of them would have just flipped it.
Yeah.
At this point. And yeah, I mean, Jiwon, to just show you the gap in like expectations and reality, Jiwon is Dance the Night Away, she wanted nude. Okay?
Yeah.
Just so you have an idea of how wrong this went for her. And yeah, also Yeonhee was also not happy at all.
Exactly.
She wanted to show something else too, and this bright, happy song, and don't get me wrong, I love Dance the Night Away. It's one of my all-time favorite Twice songs. But I completely understand all of them being like, boah,
Yeah.
That's not it. That's not what I want to show here.
I guess based on just like, I just have the feeling like you can make something cool out of like Dance the Night Away. But for me to make it pretty like a cool performance for like a show, like a survival show in mnet, you have to really like make it so different. You have to make it so much different. You just have to change the genre, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know what I would have loved to see? Dance the Night Away rock.
Ooh, yeah.
A rock version of Dance the Night Away. Spoiler, won't be.
I still say I want my horror version of Dance the Night Away.
Horror version, yeah, good.
Won't happen. Yeah, but Dance the Night Away, just the naming can be like interpreted into a horror version as well. I mean,
you can basically make a zombie concept out of this.
Yes.
Like Michael Jackson's Thriller, the dancing zombies.
Yes.
Boom.
And it's still pop, and so
yeah,
that would be amazing.
Something like this. But yeah, based on the preview, won't happen.
At all. We will have a summer pop song, something like in that direction.
And Jiwon even tried. Jiwon objected against it, was like, please no, please put me somewhere, put me nude, and Nana was like, nah.
But I want my team.
Nope. I've got my team, girls. Sorry.
Yeah.
And Teresa was like standing next to her and was like, if you don't put her in nude, I'm not putting her anywhere else. So just put her back in there. Okay, good, okay. Boom.
Yeah.
Back into Dance the Night Away. Yeah.
Sad.
I feel for them, but still, I hope for a great performance. Because they all fit the concept.
Yeah. I mean,
that much you have to give them, like.
they can pull it off so well if they want to.
Okay. Speaking of pulling off a song greatly. Last team, and my absolute favorite team. Only one. Originally by Boa, with Son and K. And this was really, really interesting because we had Son getting put into only one, and she was so not happy. She was looking at us like, oh, no, that's not it. That's not it. That's not what I want to do. The next one, like right after her, they got K as a card, put her in there, and Son was like, oh, shit, yeah. Okay, I'm game. I completely loved this 180-degree turn of Son when she saw that K was matched up with her. Also, this is the only duo performance. And what do you think about this?
Yeah, like I really loved the situation. She was put in there, and she was like, oh, "I have to object. Depend on my partner." And then Kay comes in, and she's like, "Lol, lol."
Imagine hitting a jackpot that hard.
Yeah, that was so nice. And yeah, I really see it. I still have to say, Son's vocal range is so interesting. Like, I still think she still has a way to grow much more vocally. She can really grow much more vocally. But I guess if she trains more through the next years, I really can see her like pulling off songs like 28 Reasons by Sugi. You know what I mean? If she just trains more based on her vocals, but what she can do just based on the range she has, and so just with just the lack on power for now, I can really like see her so well as a huge vocalist, and I think especially like together with Kay, it's such a nice mix. Like Son can so well do some deeper vocals. Kay even has like such a nice deep voice overall. But Kay overall can do like so much in vocals. But I think overall still they like fit together so well. When they were dancing together, it looked really, really, really nice. And I have to say, I know for the performance they are going both white, but I would have I guess, slightly happier if they would have gone with like the white and the black concept, Son in black and Key in white. This would have been so cool if they would have made like a performance out of this, I guess. But that's just a little thing, because I guess that's just something. Key in white, Angel, and Son in black. It looks so well, just fitting. So yeah,
I see that. Yeah, but I mean, with the underwater concept they're going with the white outfits.
True.
In a black outfit, you wouldn't see this. You wouldn't get this feeling of being underwater, because then you wouldn't see the colors on top of them, which kind of makes them feel like they're really there underwater. But,
yeah.
But I see what you are getting at, definitely.
In the training, it was so nice when they danced together like black and white. Mwah.
Yeah. Amazing. I only need this dance performance, this training performance, honestly, to completely getting blown away.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, it's a perfect combination. Son's voice in combination with K's, this is going to be the absolute highlight. I can definitely say there has to be a wonder happening that this is not my favorite performance. an absolute wonder on one of the others.
Yeah.
Until now, honestly, I don't see it happening because just this little snippet that we got of this, just thinking about this beginning, I'm getting goosebumps again.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's like we could already see a very vocal heavy performance, right? And you are a vocal dude, right?
I am a vocal dude.
So
that's true.
So
I'm a vocal sucker.
This might be the only performance that's kind of in that direction, right? So it's really hard to beat it for you. I can see that.
Yeah. Then with the concept too, and those two members, I admit it.
Next week.
I'm a simple dude.
Yeah. I'm simple as well, just on another range.
Okay. Then, next up, it was a time after they got distributed into their teams for the idea meetings. So, basically, they all came together to discuss what is going to be their style they're going to make. How do they want to change up the song? Who's going to sing what? And so on and so on. We saw, for example, Dowa. I really like this quote of her. I am confident with a puzzler in our team. I was like, why? Because right now, the quota of a puzzler and winning is like 50-50. Honestly. So, interesting that she says that, because I don't see yet how this really, really beneficial. But, okay, I get it.
I mean,
and yeah.
A little thing there. I guess it's just like, I don't know. Yeah, you can say it for Charismatic and Snap as well. But I think even like in this like nude for member performance, it's just a thing that the thing like that Nana cared for her own team, right? That she fought something like building up those 4 people, which you have not like in, as example, fighting.
Yeah, Bora did the exact same thing.
But Bora was a bit fighting for her own as well. Like she was like picking no vocals just because she wanted to stand out.
Yeah, but to be fair, in that song aren't many vocal parts also. So that's also the reason why she chose all 3. She got all of the rappers into her team and everything.
Yeah, but it was more roughly, to be honest, because it was like 7 people. She was like picking the rappers, and so was like dropping the vocals. And I guess like for this nude performance, Nana was thinking a bit more. Like was thinking about how would they sound in like the chorus, and so she wanted to see Chian in this concept, or could imagine her kinda. You know what I mean? That was something.
I do get what you mean, but Bora still did basically exactly the same, since she already thought about, okay, who would do which part, who would vocal this part, who would vocal this part. So I feel like this basically the same, even though of course Nana had a bigger pool out of people to choose from, because she had basically all people, and Bora had but she could choose from every contestant in the show.
True.
Whereas Bora couldn't. She could only choose out of those who actually chose Snap.
Yeah, true.
So half in a way.
Yeah.
So then next up we had Team Shutdown. A little interesting information that we got for Team Shutdown is that all 4 of them started in Tier 4 in the first episode, which is interesting, if you think about it. And we saw also kind of boosts there about her wanting all 3 of them from the very beginning. Which of course kind of made the others happy, because we're like, okay, you wanted me. Okay. Which was cute to see. Especially Rena was really happy to hear that Huisu wanted her from the get-go. That she even like said to Nana, hey, I want her. Okay, I want her. Don't take her. And so it was really cute. Then Dance the Night Away. Yeah, they were just not happy. None of them was happy at all. they looked super pissed, especially the Cherry Bullet girls. Like, while they were monitoring Twice performances, all of them were like, that they didn't curse while sitting there was the only thing that was missing. So I'm really curious to see how this continues, because I saw Yonhee sitting next to them, and I saw in her face this, shit. That's not, God. How I'm going to fix this, oh God. Like, she didn't feel comfortable sitting there. And the last team where we also got team fighting, but there is honestly nothing to report about them, because the only thing that we got of team fighting was complete lifelessness.
Yes.
All of them were just down. None of them brought in real ideas except Judy. And that was really not just boring to look at, but was a bit sad, honestly, because no one seemed to actually want to be there in this very moment, and they showed it. All of them showed it, which was a bit sad. And then we got the exact opposite. The exact opposite with Team Only One. Starting basically by the quote of them, "We are the only team created by only winners." From winning teams, which is true. And what I loved, my absolute favorite thing about all of this, was that Kay basically continued there where she left off in Queendom Season 1 with Waza. Kay was sitting there with Zone, and instantly she was like, now we are friends. And you really have to know, if you haven't seen Queendom like Season 1, or if you don't know Kay, you really have to know, if Kay wants you to be friends, you are friends. It's that you don't have a chance, you don't have a choice to say otherwise. I mean, who the hell would?
Yeah.
But technically, you just can. Kay says we are friends, and they are friends. And it worked out perfectly. Both of them are homebodies, as they found out. Both of them don't like to go out.
Yeah.
And they instantly started to eat together. Everything they talked about, they had the exact same opinion about. They get along perfectly, and they went even on basically a freaking date, okay? So, Kay and Zone, perfect couple. Perfect freaking couple. They were adorable. And if their performance is only half as good as their date, we've got a masterpiece coming up, honestly. It was really cute. Okay, then it is time to actually come to the highlight of today's episode, and this is the performances. Finally. And prior to the actual performances, the girls went into the dressing rooms and saw a board there in front of them. And on this board, we saw a ranking. And this ranking was created through the girls themselves, because they got to listen to a preview. I think it was a 1-minute preview of all of the songs of the others, and then had to basically rank how excited they are for each performance. The ranking is as follows. Position 6, Don't Call Me. Position 5, Dance the Night Away. Tied on position 3, Nude and Shutdown. Position number 2, Fighting. And number 1 is Only One. What do you think about this ranking that the girls created there? Do you agree to it? Is there something you think or you have another opinion on?
Basically, no, I don't think so. I guess I can imagine it.
I would put Shutdown on 2, but I'm biased. So that's basically it.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the actual performance of Nude. Prior to the performance, we saw the girls really actively participating in finding concept ideas for the entire performance, for the sound of the song. They were the ones that came up with this rope and doll concept that they then later on actually went with. And they looked super ambitious and harmonious as a team, which I really like to see. And also, on the downside, kind of, we saw them practicing. the big problem there was that it felt like they kind of underestimated how difficult it is going to be to perform with those freaking ropes. Because they got tangled in those, they lost control over the ropes, they missed timings. And Mnet made it look like the girls challenged something that they, in the end, were not be able to actually handle. And now I'm asking you, was that really the case?
So the nude performance. Well, where do I start? Let's start with the fact that I guess I get my kind of horror-ish rearrangement here. What was a bit surprising, I wasn't like really I was kind of seeing it after they came up with like those dolls and stuff.
And yeah.
And then I was like, okay, yeah, this could be a bit horrorish, but yeah. In the beginning, I wasn't thinking like that. So we have here like a sexy horror concept. Lol. Something I'm so up for, by the way. But yeah, this performance, when I watched it for the first time in the episode, it was so much. When I was thinking like, okay, I have to watch it again. Actually, when I've watched it like 2 or 3 times more, then it was like pretty more clear. But like literally, this one first watch was so impressive from so much what happened. Yeah, let's do with like I already talked about the constellation, and let's just talk about the performance itself. In the beginning, I really loved in the beginning when like Nara did this like Nxde, I guess. Was she saying X or was she saying U? I don't really know. But yeah, it was like this this really like atmosphere upbuilding part, and I loved this so much. This was so good for like a beginning. I was just into it after those like 5 or 6 seconds. It instantly caught me. And then I have to say, with like the first verse and as well the first chorus, Chihan pulling off the sexy concept was something like I haven't thought that she would pull it off so well. Literally, I really could like see her giving her all to yeah, be sexy, and literally she kinda killed the cute side of hers for this performance. Amazing how she did it. Literally amazing. Was I don't know, like just even watching it like the second or third time, it's still super surprising how well she nailed it. In the second verse, there was like Nana's rap where normally Soyeon's rap is. And very interesting for this one. I guess this was the one only part where I was like, okay, this feels like a bit more like Nana than everything else in this performance. Like the whole performance was very like horror and sexy-ish. But like this rap, she not even like tried to go somehow in the near of the original Soyeon rap. She literally just made it her own. And by making it her own, she couldn't really deny it that she did it a bit on the funny side. So it was a little break where I have to say it's just a typical Nana like funny experience when she's rapping most of the time, and I really loved it how she did it on like in her style. Doa overall, I guess showed like that this is just her concept. Like literally, this is just a concept with her facial expression, and yeah, her overall performance delivery there, amazing. overall, Nana with her thinking about having Suyun and Chian in the chorus for this, or imagining them for this How Do I Look part. Yeah, was in my opinion 100%. Worked for 100%. I really love their voices during this part. Was amazing. Even Chian could like do it powerful. That was a surprise as well. I really loved it. I overall really loved that that they could achieve this choreo, this hard choreo pretty well. It was overall, I have to say, a very, very, very choreo and performance focused, stage. I even have to say the biggest problem for the stage is that you can't really rate their vocals that much. Like instead of like the chorus, you like if the vocals were powerful, then you can literally hear them the best. But everything else was a bit like mixed with like the pre-recording. Cause the pre-recording was pretty loud in my opinion. Like they really like, especially in the verses, I guess they had
At times the voice broke out, and at times the pre-recording was too loud.
Yeah. And that was something.
But it varied strongly. That was a bit weird.
So I don't know, like what the exact thinking thought behind it was. Maybe they weren't supposed to sing anyway in like those parts, and maybe like should let the pre-recording carry over, but somehow they still tried the whole time to sing. I don't know what the plan was behind it, but I guess based on that it was a really performance based stage, which was super exhausting. What you could hear at the end, like in the like last in like after like this outro part, they were really like exhausted singing the last lines. You could really hear them breathe and stuff. It was it was you could really hear like how exhausting this whole performance was with this whole dance break. But cause I like, if it comes to performances, I'm super performance focused. Like if you have like, if I'm watching a performance itself, I'm taking very high value on the performance itself. And if I'm just like listening to music, for me, like then the music of course has a higher priority for me. But yeah, that's why I'm really or why I really love those performance heavy stages in those shows, because that's something I love to prioritize then. And so I think they such made a good job with this performance. I kind of like the version of the song. It's not like I don't know if I can rate to say it's better or worse than the original. I don't know. I guess they're kind of even. I though like the horror vibe. I guess something I really saw in this performance as well is, if I would like imagine be like Idol being in a show like Queendom again, and doing like a whole version of their like nude performance, then I could kind of imagine that it would have kind of gone like sound wise, especially in this direction. So that was a bit surprising. I don't think like performance wise it was totally different, but I guess like sound wise it really sounded like if Soyeon would just rearrange this. That was very interesting. But yeah, and I loved like that we had in like this 4-member team, like those kind of 2 pairings out of Nana and Xian, what was really fitting, and Suyeon and Doa were so well together as well, that they kind of saw this and just have put them together for like many formations. Was such a good decision because I really love their synergy in those like pairings. That was super 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 nice. Overall, I really loved it, and nothing what's important for the show here, but because we just had this like in this podcast now, and it is just something I want to point out. If we like would choose an MVP here, it would be Qian for me.
Okay, now you've had the positive take on this performance. Now it's time to face reality. No, but seriously. This performance, overall, I did enjoy to look at it. However, there were a lot of points in it that really, really, really kind of, yeah, I don't want to say messed up, but the kind of made the portions of parts that I actually enjoy made those portions much, much, much smaller. Starting with Nana. I really often had problems with the way Nana was singing certain parts, because often her voice was quite flat compared to the others, which really made it sound quite strange when you had Nana singing a part and then someone else following it up, because there was quite a big gap in the way their voices sounded. You had no smooth transition between those. At least most of the times you didn't. And at certain times she overpronounced certain parts in her songs, especially during her rap part, that just felt overboard for me. Not fitting to the overall serious approach on the song. It's not just in her dance break, but before that too, in the kind of narration and stuff. That really threw me off, and I did not like that at all, because it broke with the performance overall, and it broke with how the others delivered their parts too much, which kind of formed an inconsistency in the vocals of this entire performance. Jihan, I can't really share the opinion that Jihan threw away her sexy side on that one. Too often I did not believe the facial expressions that she did. Not because I think she can't do it, but in those parts I simply didn't see it. I felt at times she tried to force certain emotions into her facial expressions that weren't there, or they weren't simply not believable for me. So that kind of threw me off. The dancing, however, was great. There's not much to criticize. In the beginning, I think not many people even noticed it. There was this little moment where Jihan was, I think she got tangled up for a second in the robe of Suyun. At least it looked for a second like that. No critic point on that part. I just saw that, and I rewatched it multiple times because I didn't even know if that happened or if it was part of the choreo, because she moved really strange at the moment. But this is honestly something that actually would have suited this choreo style, this puppet choreo style that they went with there. So there was just something I saw there, and until now I'm not sure if this was part of the choreo or if she got tangled up behind the back of Suyun. So that was just something I saw. Maybe you did too, and you can tell me if that was intended or not. Overall, yeah, I have to say that the vocals have disappointed me. most of the times when I was able to actually hear them, because they simply, due to the lack of power, most of the times, they were not able to back up the overall feeling that the song tried to convey. The seriousness the song tried to have, this dark concept, this kind of this deep impression this performance tried to leave with us. In my opinion, it did not achieve that, and that is the thing for me. If the vocals don't match with what you're trying to show on stage, then the entire concept kind of, I don't want to say breaks apart for me, because it was not that bad. I enjoyed the performance still overall, but it by far did not leave such an impression like it was probably supposed to do for me, and that was mainly because of the vocals. Also, facial expressions at some points, especially Jian and Nana, threw me off quite a lot. Doba in the beginning, I felt like Doba needed 30 seconds to 1 minute to really get into it, but then I was really satisfied with her. However, that I can already say my MVP was Suyu, because Suyu was singing really well, except at the very end. There you already mentioned it. They were really exhausted, and you could hear that there. She wasn't able to hold the tone, which she was like. You could hear the air getting out of her lungs, the last bit of air. But no shades there. It was exhausting. I understand that. No problem. But besides that, I really liked her singing, because she had exactly that bit of power in her voice most of the time that I was missing for the others. And every time she was up, I felt this performance. And this was really interesting for me to see. Every time Suyu was, I was like, okay, I get it. I get this is what you want to show me. And then another member came up, and then I lost it again. That was a bit sad. Also, her facial expressions were great. So absolute MVP for me, Suyu, in this performance. So overall, I did enjoy it, but I can say that I was satisfied with it. Also, but this is something that's not the fault of the members. I did not enjoy this version of Nude overall. It sounded not right. And not because I wanted to sound exactly like the original, because that's exactly what I don't want for those remix battles, but the remix didn't feel complete in a way. It felt kind of all over the place at times. So that was a kind of a shame for me. But the choreo itself and the idea of dancing with those ropes and everything was super cool. And there I really want to give the maddest props to the girls. And especially Nana. It felt like Nana was the one who was kind of the leader when it came to that idea. So mad respect to Nana there. The audience, however, voted with, and honestly can't say what exactly that means, 222 votes. I don't know how many people were there in this audience. I would guess 300, but I could be completely wrong there. If they have seen it, if they have shown it, I mean mnet, then I didn't see it twice. So yeah, I'm not sure about that, but they got a voting result of 222, which is, I think, pretty good, I would assume.
I would assume it's very good if it's just 300, but
yeah, or even 250 something. I have no clue, but something around that would be the highest. Next up, we have the performance of Fighting. And yeah, I already talked about it previously, shortly. This team, this is maybe even the saddest team I've ever seen in a produced show. Like, the lack of any kind of energy this team has during the preparation, at least during the thinking of a concept, and during the meeting with all of the producers and stuff, was seriously, it was frightening to me almost. It was really, I was shocked to see that, because this team has so many energetic members, and to see them so down and so almost broken, honestly, made me super sad. And I truly hope that that would change over the course of their preparations. And it seemed like that actually happened. They slowly started to grow together, to maybe even start to realize what they have to bring into this performance to make it actually a contestant to win anything. What was a bit sad for me was that they basically just went with this original office worker concept. I would have liked a bit more creativity there, but then again, I liked the idea of, I think it was Judy, to kind of go with this. What is the name of this Pixar movie?
Inside Out?
Inside Out, exactly. Inside Out, with those different emotions that each of them would kind of depict a different emotion. Little spoiler, I did not see that much in this performance, honestly, but I liked the overall impulse Judy gave there. But did this performance have any more than that initial impulse of Judy in the end, or was it just as sad as the preparations have been?
Well, so the thing is, I've mentioned it before. There was a little thing where I was like, when they were sitting there and kinda Judy was talking on her own with like the producers and directors and so. She was asked like, so what would you have thought? And Judy was taking it on and was like, yeah, office concept. And then was the question again something else than just the concept? And there was nothing, like, so not much. I was like,
they were like, nope.
Yeah, and I was like, immediately, I kind of see that it's not something new. I already saw this as well. But if you stay with this, just make something like a musical. I would have just said it immediately. If no one of my members would have said something, I would have just said, yeah, office worker concept, make it like a musical, and this will be like a no-brainer. But there was firstly nothing in that direction. Overall, it turned out to be exactly that. So for like
if you guys have seen season 1, you may have seen a lot of like flashbacks, maybe, or felt a bit of flashback feeling of the cameo performance of Loveless.
Right.
Because that had a similar vibe, basically.
And I guess we can say with like Queendom 2 with Luna as well, right? So
True.
It stays somehow. It's we need one.
Someone has to do it, and they were like, "Nah, come on, let's
just do it." And for this performance, I have to say it like in the beginning, cause I guess we point those out often. Like that's a bit fighting against each other in this performance, cause normally I would say this performance is even stronger, like if you are there, right? Because this is like fighting as a crowd, pushing song and stuff. On the other hand, I have to say the camera work for those musical performances is most of the time so well, and it was like in this performance once again so good, especially like in the beginning with those group shots and stuff. The camera is doing such a good job for this, and I don't think that this nearly comes to the same impact if you're there. So still there are other parts, like especially like in the chorus and stuff, where you like might cheer up more if you're there live. But yeah, I really like felt through this camera work, yeah, kinda to be there. It was so dynamic. I really loved it. Overall, I have to say it's no secret that they watched a 7-team live stage, and 7-team has already, like, give a good like base on what you can adapt to, and I think they did it very well. If there is something to critique, I would say that it's copied pretty much. Like they're pretty much or pretty much on like moves and stuff are copied. which is like not something that makes the performance worse for me, but where I have to say like I would have wished for maybe some more own ideas or new ideas. But the things they just like copied like the shouts after the chorus, which make like Chewie just like talk something on her own with the inviting to a meal and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like this performance gave you exactly what you expect when you think of a fighting performance.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point.
This is kind of the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, things that really stood out to me. I really loved Julie's voice in here, but even more, Ellie was. I say it now. Ellie was the MVP in this performance.
Say it louder.
Ellie was the MVP in this performance.
Fucking exactly.
Wow! In the second,
hell yeah, she was.
In the second chorus, when they were standing on like this block that were on the up, and Ellie had this chorus part. Wow, she nailed this. Overall, her facial expression was the best. She was living this so much, and literally, after I watched it like 3 times, I watched it just once more. Just I wanted to watch like just on Ellie for one's performance, because I just love to see how like she enjoyed it facial expression wise. And we have to say, yeah, she nailed it after she was not that happy after got chosen for that. She still like was totally going into this concept that she can do, right? Because she can cheer up, and she was nailing it.
I mean, this performance is Ellie.
This basically. Performance is Ellie.
This is
right.
her.
Still, Judy was feeling this, was living it as well. That was something we could already expect from the beginning, because she kind of wanted to be there, and you could really see this through the performance. And overall, all of them were very professional, even if they did not really want it into it at the end. They really pulled it off well. The rap is something what I also like in the original. Here it was a bit more like it really felt different, because it was like their own rap styles, right? Yuki did like it in her rap style, and you did it in her rap style. It's totally different to a rap style like from AyoGG. What I especially love for like a rap like this is that the song has a certain meaning. They were going like with the original meaning, which is fine, because you want most of the time kind of stay with the meaning. Nude kind of was the same. They stayed with like the meaning behind this song, and so they did as well. And I feel like fighting like in the original as well, you have like 3 or 4 points that are set through pre-chorus, through chorus, and 1 4-line verse or something. So it's not much content of a song you can like tell the story behind the song. This is different like for the rap part. The rap part can totally like put so much meaning into like the song, and so I really liked how like they just like we're concluding this whole topic with working 9 to 5 and stuff into this rap part, was giving it a little break, was giving it a bit of spiciness, and then they ended like with this huge chorus at the end, with Ellie's high note. It's still in my ear.
Never forget. Never forget.
No. I really love that Jiwoo there was in the chorus. Still, I have to say, not that impactful like Judy and Ellie in the choruses before. There you could just hear that Jiwoo isn't able to have like this powerful voice like as Judy and Ellie.
At least not yet.
Not yet, exactly. But even I have to say, she nailed the rap more than she did like the chorus part. But still, I think she kind of, if she trains a bit more, she can, I guess, be a really good all rounder. I see her like doing both, not on the peak, but that she can pull off both very well, and even dancing. So yeah, let's see how she's growing to that. I really loved the performance. Yeah, MVP Ellie. Just want to say it once again. At the end, when they were all making those faces, literally once again Ellie's face. Oh, how she was like with this kind of profile keycard in her hand. And this face.
I don't know how Ellie does it, but she's a natural entertainer.
Yeah.
She's really insane.
For sure. So yeah, I really loved it. It was a whole well-made performance through camera work, staging, slightly acting. There wasn't that much acting, but let's call it acting.
Well, let's say they tried acting. Yeah.
The choreo was super entertaining. They were interacting with the crowd super well. They were interacting with the camera super well. It was such an enjoyable performance, and I guess, as I said, I think a more like new ideas like this with the dance break, with like the table, like pushing the table. That was something new, which I really liked. A bit more of like new ideas would have been cool, but besides that, and because of the thing that they really couldn't like choose the team their own, and everyone had to adapt kind of, even if that's might not fit 100% their style. I guess there's nothing I can really say. I could have imagined it better. It was just a performance. I would have, thought it would go like that, and I enjoyed it. And I know there's nothing I can critique on, like, besides that there could have been a bit of new ideas, but.
Well, if you don't want to criticize them, I will.
That's
what my job is, after all.
I give it to you.
No, but seriously, I also really like the performance. I'm also the same opinion that when you are actually there, this entire performance has a completely new level of impact, I would assume. A level that is getting transported through the scream. It just really hardly. They did well, however. I also think that the camera work did as much as they could, but it just has certain limits, and in my opinion, they reached the limit here, definitely. It looked good, it felt good, I enjoyed watching it, but it definitely did not have the impact it could have had, technically. But this is nothing. The girls are at fault. It's just the way this performance is. So this is just a little disadvantage we have as TV viewers. On the other hand, there will be performances in the next episode where I assume it will be the exact other way around, but more to that later. Here, a thing that I did not like that much was in the intro. It was, in my opinion, too long. The camera flew there through the girls, and we saw them all acting out this day in an office and how exhausted they are. And I was really exhausted too. After watching this, and I thought, like, okay, when does it end? Okay, you know what? Now that I think about it, maybe it's perfect. That's exactly how an office day is. Okay, no, it was perfect. They got me in the exact same mood as they were. I take everything back. That was great. I really felt exhausted and wanted it to end. This intro. So, okay. That was good. It just changed into a positive thing. But, you said it's a positive thing with the table and everything, that is something new. And this I agree technically. when Yuki was sitting on the table during this dance part, the thing with choreos like this is it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Because you really have to execute those dance moves super well and super smooth, in my opinion, so it does feel dynamic enough, so it does feel intriguing enough, and so that it doesn't feel awkward. For Yuki, I honestly have to say it felt a bit unnatural to me, the dance moves she did on that table. Because she did one move, then she switched into the other, then in the next, and I did not feel like those moves were nicely connected with each other. It felt a certain fluency for me personally. So this part felt a bit off for me. This is one of those things where I personally think the idea is better than the actual result. But it could have been really, really good. This way it was just, it was there, and it was nice that it was a fresher idea, but I feel like the execution wasn't as good as it could have been there. And overall, in the beginning, in the first minute or something like this, I had the feeling that they were lacking a bit of energy. The energy, the way I see it, kind of built up from the beginning and then grew throughout the song. And like in the second third of the song or something like this, once we arrived there, they were at the proper level. That was fitting for this performance. And then it started to really be a lot of fun to watch this performance. I enjoyed it, and especially also, I have to say, the finale was super cool. When they were all standing there together, and Ellie, high note, can't say that often enough. That was super cool, and when they all sang together and were just playing with the crowd, and everyone was going wild, super cool. An absolute mood maker performance. Then again, exactly like I expect from a fighting performance. And when you are there, I feel like it's insanely difficult to top a performance like this. At least my opinion is that it would be really difficult to beat this one. The audience, however, saw it a bit differently because they voted with 209, which means that the nude performance is still on position number 1. Which surprised me a bit, because I do think that, they were shining so much with this in front of the audience. So I don't know what kind of cold-hearted bastards were standing there in the crowd, listening to Ellie's high note and then not upvoting. I don't know how that's possible, but humans are terrible.
I'd say
terrible.
it's still that it's one of those moments where you're so much into the performance you forget to vote. 100%.
Like the Nana effect.
If you just listen like to the crowd, I don't know. There's no possibility that it's the vote like 209. I don't know.
I was really sad.
Or there are really just sad. 250 people legit, and like just having like 41 people who might not enjoy this concept is a possibility, though. Then 209 would be good, you know?
But then, and again, I'm asking myself why I'm not there, mnet. I should be standing there in front of the door, ask everyone who leaves if they voted up for this. If not, smack. Smack.
Oh.
One cute thing is they wrote little resignation letters and threw them on the stage. And there was one letter of Sujin that read, "I am too cute for this company." I really like this one. That was an adorable resignation letter.
Yeah.
And one, if one day I'm quitting my company, this will exactly be what I'm doing. I'm too cute for you. Another thing that will maybe not be too cute, but still overwhelming its own way, is the performance that was teased for the next episode, and that is Only One. Originally by Boa, and yeah, what did we see? We saw all other teams praising the preview of Son and K for Only One. They were all super excited to listen to the song. Even during the dance practice, the teacher praised the vocals of the two of the girls. So we know there is a vocal wave is going to hit us, and I'm not sure if we're able to face it, honestly. And we get more, basically, of the great chemistry between Kay and Son. So, basically, what Mnet is doing once again here is building up and building and building and building this one performance to make us think that this is going to be the absolute best of the best. I'm really curious, and I don't doubt that's going to be. The one thing that I am really interested in, is, though, to see how the audience will think about this, because what we have already seen of it, we saw that the stage, that there was this big, on the stage, another stage where the two were lying on in each other's arms with the camera in like bird's view, and this is so hard a TV performance in this moment. And not a crowd performance. Because if you're in a crowd there, you don't see shit. You just don't see them lying there. You only see maybe like their arms that where they hold hands with each other and stuff. But and of course you will see them on the screen and everything, obviously. But you do not see them actively, directly from next to the stage. And I don't know how much of the performance is going to be similar to this. But this could be something that will cost Only One views in the end. And it would not be the only one. That the performance that Mnet is kind of building up the most. The performance is the performance that is vocal-wise the most impressive one in an episode. Is not, and the performance that is generally, when you are releasing the videos on YouTube, the one this is getting the most views, is often not the one that is actually getting the most views when they're getting performed in front of an audience in Mnet shows. You really have to pay attention to that. So I could actually imagine that Only One will not get the most votes, despite everything we see here. But what I can definitely promise you is that it's already got the hard vote of myself. Okay. Next up, we got a little, nice piece of information of Mnet, because Mnet revealed the interim results of the global voting. So we saw who is based on global votings alone. So if I'm not, so in this ranking that we see here, the points they got for their performances are not included, if I'm not completely mistaken. This is only voting. And there we have, no particular order, by the way. In the top 7, we have Nana, Boda, Yodom, Yeon, Jiwon, Jihan, and K. Those are the 7 who are currently, based on global voting, in the final team. What do you think about this lineup?
Out of a bias standpoint, I'm not that disappointed. I guess I really can see the global factor in that. Where I still would say, I guess K would be maybe something more like a Korean thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. K is definitely a Korean crowd pleaser.
Yeah, but I think like Yodom, Yeon, Nana are really like globally the thing. Overall, I like it. It's not like my top 7, but it's but like there are like 4 people I'm rooting for, so 4, maybe 5. In the way you see it, I'm rooting for many people, right? but especially like Ian and Nana would be like something I really look forward in K as well. Like this would be so amazing. having Bora in here is just a tease of Mnet, a bitch tease, because we know that even Bora
Fuck Mnet.
and G1
Seriously.
won't be there anymore later on. So this is just
They can't do this again.
yeah, it's
Not for a third time. God damn it, poor Bora. Seriously.
I would like this is the first we see, right? This is the
Yeah.
interesting thing. I want to see, like, as example, what is next week. This would be really interesting. Or do we get a Korean War voting? This would be interesting as well. So I need, I want a bit of comparison.
And I feel like Mnet is not going to do that, because the more they reveal like how this is split and everything, the less they can rig. So
So maybe they stay with the global combination vote, yeah.
yeah, it's like, get this everything, guys. Yeah, it's your votes, all your votes. Sure.
Yeah, but it would be interesting to see, like, in 2 weeks, because next week, no, wait. Yes, in 2 weeks, because next week wouldn't be like the performance is implemented, really. Maybe for the people that were there, but that are just 250 Korean people. Maybe not. Maybe a few global as well. But yeah, it would be like very interesting to see after the first performances, like all 6, how this will change or something. Would be really nice to see, in my opinion.
Yeah, how this evolves over the course of the show is definitely interesting.
Yeah.
Because this one is
Fire.
kind of, you say fire in a way, yes. I say lame, because
Yeah.
it is exactly what I expect. Like, there is not a single surprise for me, honestly, in this ranking here.
Yeah.
Like, I expected all of those to be in there. The only one where I would say not 100% is Jihan.
Yeah.
The rest, I'm like, yeah, this is exactly what I would have thought the people would vote for. And I just hope that people watch the show and then find also other girls that they really like, that can, like, convince them that they're also worthy of this, and that this entire voting thing is getting more interesting. Because I really don't want this here, this voting result, to stay exactly like this with only 1 or 2 changes in between. I want it to be interesting, because only then you see that the people are actually taking interest in the other less famous contestants in the show. And this is kind of what I hope to see. And this is something I would say, even if this was exactly my top 7, I would say the exact same thing. I want the other girls to be able to shine too. To get a chance to actually get into this group too. I don't want it to be the whole time. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
From the get-go, it was clear who it's going to be.
I mean,
so yeah, I hope it's going to be a bit more interesting.
I see that overall. Of course, it's a strong combination, right? But even in this strong
it is strong, definitely.
Even in this strong combination, I have to admit, it's a bit less, way too less Ellie in there. So it needs a bit more Ellie in there.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So
preach.
So based on everything who I really want in there, just based on the bias standpoint, I guess Ellie is like the one I want the most in there, just cause there's like nothing of her. So so many people, like, Yen is doing her own stuff, Ua is having comebacks at least, and Ki is doing some solo stuff, not that often, but she's doing.
I mean, she is not doing that many things that you see in the general public.
That's true.
Like, she is heavily involved in or has been heavily involved in musicals and stuff like this.
Yeah.
So she is working a lot, but maybe not the stuff that you see that openly.
True. But yeah, a bit more Ellie in there would be nice in maybe 1 or 2 weeks.
Hopefully.
Hard for Ellie.
Hopefully. The world needs to learn. If they didn't learn to love Wikimiki, at least learn to love Ellie, please.
Yes.
Next up, we take a look forward to next week, the preview. Of course, we got teasers for all the other performance. Something that was interesting there was that it sounded like there was a high note in Dance the Night Away that kind of didn't work out the way it's supposed to. At least it sounded like in the preview. And if I think about who's in this group, it could really be that Bora is actually not the one doing the high note, because I remember that they were discussing parts, and I don't know who it was. Was it Yonhee or Soyeon? One of those two said that, I think it was Yonhee, that she said that she wanted to have a certain part, and Bora was looking to her like, what? And I could imagine, and she said like, I think I really can do it. And I'm kind of scared that Yonhee took the high note part and then didn't make it in the performance. Why am I scared for that? Not because I think that Bora's going to kill her, but because I think that this is something that is going to lie heavy on her, if that really happens. Like, if you're in a group with Bora and you convince her to be the, I don't know, main vocal, but at least the one doing this high note part, and then this happens, I feel like this could be really a heavy blow for you. So I'm this is something I'm really anxiously awaiting next week, what's going to happen there. Also, we see everyone being shocked over a voting result.
Yeah, as always.
That could mean basically everything.
Yeah.
And we see Kay and Huiso crying, which could mean basically everything. And we see that after everything got performed, we're going to get a live puzzling of the girls in front of the crowd, which is interesting.
I love puzzling.
Honestly. Puzzling is great. Seriously, I'm also a fan of puzzling.
I love it so much that they just continuing it through the whole show with this like putting people together just by, oh yeah, maybe you were the best and you were the best, so let's puzzle groups. This is so cool.
It really is a great concept. I'm looking forward, especially to the reaction of the crowd.
Yeah.
When people are getting, I don't know, dropped. I don't know if you're getting drops or not, but this is going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
The most interesting thing, however, is the following corner, which is going to be a double feature today. It's fashion with Taengoo.
Taengoo X2.
Now, Taengoo X2, and oh my god, what are we starting with? Let's start with the second one, please.
Yeah, you want to say? Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I need to end this podcast on a positive note.
You are one of those people. Yes. Why am I? Yeah. So basically, when
it freaking happened. When
the door opened, like, I remember I wasn't the first one who said something to it, cause when the door opened, my mind was blank. My mind was just blank. Like, the stage opened and I just saw pink glittering. I was like, hey, what is this? And then I realized, oh no, that's her boots. And then I realized that all she's wearing is black instead of the boots. The shoes are just like boots, pink, glittery, pink with glitter, pink.
They look a bit like rain boots.
A bit, yeah.
And
I guess they're waterproof for sure.
I hope so, because Taeyeon definitely cried after seeing those in her dressing room.
Like,
I mean, holy shit! What kind of fashion massacre are those ugly ass boots?
Yeah.
who thought, who saw these boots and was like, we have to put those on a person? I don't get it. Like, I can't wrap my head around it. Like, just because Taeyeon and TTS have made a song called Twinkle does not mean that you have to put her into the ugliest twinkly shit ever created by a human being. If that even is human made, I have no clue.
Yeah.
Hey, this is so insanely ugly, those boots. Holy shit.
I'm not so much into fashion, but like there are fashion ruling.
In case you guys didn't notice yet that we are not that fond of fashion.
But there are
that knowledgeable.
some rules in fashion. Like, as example, most of the time, not more than 3 colors in like one set of outfit, right? So something like that.
Yeah, sure, definitely. That's an important rule, yeah. Cool,
and
sure.
Of course, something like we learn even in school, right? In like art classes and stuff. If I don't know, some other people have those. We learn like about colors, right? And how colors fit together. And so that's something you learn, right? And how is the decision making to wear totally black hair, like jacket, skirt, all black, and then you decide to make the shoes pink glitter and big. It's not like it's like high heel shoes or something you don't see that much. It's boom. It's like armor boots.
Yeah, and they don't even fit. It looks like they slide it down.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is supposed to be the style of this, but if it is supposed to be, then it is even worse.
Yeah.
If they did it on purpose, like, I don't freaking know what they thought when they chose those boots. Like, I can't imagine any outfit where those boots would suit. Like, this outfit does not exist. It's not possible to put on anything that somehow works with those ugly ass boots.
The only thing is if you have like a long dress which cover
where you don't see them at all.
Right. Where you maybe see just the bottom of it, but then the dress has to be in the same color. And then you are just the pink, glittery something.
And if it was just pink, right, it would already be bad enough. But since it is like twinkling,
yeah,
you just have to look at it. It just it jumps into your eyes so hard because it's like a freaking disco ball shining into your eyes, and you can't help but look at this accident.
Yeah.
And hey, I love all contestants, right?
Yeah.
They're great, and I respect them, and I love every time I see them.
Yeah.
But when Taeyeon entered the stage and all of them, oh my god, she looks like a fairy. I'm like, Taeyeon, her face is gorgeous. Oh my, she looks so good, but don't fucking tell me that this outfit she's wearing is anything than terrible.
And the fairy.
I'm sorry,
by the way,
but
and the fairy.
No fairy dresses like this. No. Fairies have taste, guys. Sorry. Poor Taeyeon, really. I mean, as we know in the industry, Taeyeon is not choosing that outfit, you know?
Yeah.
She's entering the room, she sees that, and she has to wear that.
Yes.
And
she gets money for
this poor girl. And then you look at this beautiful face of hers, and you're like, how can you massacre my baby like this, you know?
Yeah, with like the hairpin and like the pony kind of on the side. Very nice. Very cute.
Okay, this is interesting because I'm also not a fan of the hairstyle.
Oh, not? Okay.
No,
I really like it.
But this is a problem that I personally have, because I'm a guy, I love symmetry, and what is happening here is it's breaking my brain because on the left side you have these strands of hairs that are tied together on this one side, and on the other side you only have this little bang part that she put on the side and everything. And this completely creates a disbalance when I look at her, and it bothers me insanely.
But there are so many hairstyles where you have like the pony on just one side with pinned, even with a hairpin, right? If you're like one-sided.
It depends on how you're executing this. But here you have kind of like on the left side this fucking anchor that is hanging down from her head, like it longer than like her neck area down. This anchor that's pulling her head to the left side, and on the right side you have this super clean, almost like grade school girl hairstyle with this cute pin and everything. This is completely misbalancing this entire head of hers.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
this is kind of my problem.
It's your problem, though.
Yeah, it is completely my problem.
I can snipping tool the face out and think, oh yeah, she dressed. I mean, can I say she dressed?
That is if I snipping out her face, then we have no problem whatsoever. Then I'm in heaven.
But yeah, no. Overall, it happened. Yeah, it finally happened. It's interesting. It's interesting that it just happened. Yeah. The thing is, guys.
And don't get me wrong, guys. I'm happy.
Yeah, you have to.
I wanted this to happen.
You have to know that's something like we waited for so long, like the whole
since Jingu.
Yeah, the whole Queendom season 2.
Yeah.
Nothing. No one.
Sometimes there were things I could say, nah, could be better here. But it was overall really good, everything.
Exactly.
But this is a major fuck up.
And this is the final major fuck up where we have to thank mnet.
This is seriously one of the... I know Taeyeon for more than 10 years now, guys. And this is one of the worst outfits I've ever seen on her. Like, seriously, this is so terrible.
Yeah.
This poor girl.
But it's not the only one.
Okay.
It's not the only one.
It is not the only one. And this one. Jesus.
Because this one was something we saw first in the episode and we were like, yes! As usual.
And I would even dare to say even better than usual, guys. Seriously, this happened, and I'm not a religious person, but I believe now. After witnessing this style of Taeyeon, holy shit. The way she's loosely wearing this tie around her neck. The shirt on her that's only like bottom up to half, and then the lower part like split apart.
Yes.
And then the skirt. This is like the way the skirt is falling, like it's falling not straight down, but it's falling like kind of like a tent to the sides. This style is so fascinating, so kind of it's something else, you know. And it is a sexy style that she's wearing there, and still she's wearing this so casually and so cool with her attitude and everything. This is absolute god tier for me, this style.
So we have her hair, perfect, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Hey, and I said it last week, guys. I said last week, open hair. Open freaking hair. Look at this. Open hair, no bangs. Forehead is freed. Hey.
I really love like especially like how her hair is cut, like this how do you call it? How do you call die Stufen in hair? Like, how do you call it when it's when it's on hair? Like, how do you call it?
Boah, I have no clue if there's a special term for that, honestly. Like Yeah, the hair is kind of I
Yeah,
have no fucking clue, dude.
I don't know as well. Like,
I'll just say kind of like in this stair style.
yeah,
Cut in the stair style. I don't know if there's a
term
special term
a
for
term
this
for
or
that,
something like this.
but that's something that yeah, it's pretty often if your hair got cut that it's cut like that because it looks more dynamic and fresher, right? And here it's perfectly like you see this like you see this when like the hair is just fallen over a bit over her face and you have like a little like
The hair tucked behind her ear. Behind her freaking ear, dude.
right
This one killed
on the
me.
one side, and the other one is like like slightly over her face, and then it's like in the stare look where it's like yeah, it just looks amazing. Just looks amazing.
I feel like an important part why this looks so amazing is because it kind of works. Her hair works as frame for the perfect face that Taeyeon has. You know, it doesn't block anything from the face. It is framing it in a way that it kind of makes it stand out more.
Yeah,
And with a face like this, you want.
and it fits and it fits to like the loosen style of like the shirt as well. So like
Yeah, it's perfect.
because you have
It's perfect.
loosen hair, so just like put hair on her head and just
Yeah.
it's super nice. I really like
Her style looks super casual until you reach the skirt.
exactly.
The skirt feels a bit more elite in a way with those 6 buttons she has there. And the only thing that I would kind of like ask myself is I don't feel like the skirt is practical because it is pretty short. I feel like you can't possibly sit with this thing. Honestly, this looks pretty impractical.
But overall, I think like it's super nice. Still a little thing for me personally. Yeah,
You're wrong.
I know I'm wrong, but it's not looking bad. But I don't think I'm a fan of like how the skirt is cut. I don't know. It just not. It just not looks like I enjoy the style overall. So like this just I don't know.
I think the problem with this is that it kind of breaks, as I said, with the feeling, with the concept that we have on the lower part of her body. This pretty laid back, loose style. And then you have the skirt, which, yeah, it does. This is not a skirt that is screaming like loose, but more elite, something like this. I would expect you to wear like a suit top or something like this together with this kind of skirt.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So yeah,
I wouldn't need the buttons.
yeah, as well. So yeah, it's not just if it comes to skirts, I wouldn't say it's the 10 out of 10 skirt. So I guess there are like nicer ones, but overall, I guess especially like with the shoes, it kind of fits though, and the black tie, so it's still a line of like kind of fitting coloring wise. It's a good decision to have like this white shirt and the black skirt, and then this black tie with darker hair, because so you like shaping a bit more like the upper body, and you are like taking a focus on the middle of her. So like it's a bit it's a good decision designer wise, I guess, overall, this outfit. I hope she shows it herself. This would mean she has like the perfect taste.
What I want to say, why I kind of like the way this skirt is cut, because not from the styling of the skirt itself, because I feel like the buttons are the problem for this kind of elite style it has, but this almost tent style this skirt has matches with the shirt she's wearing, because the shirt on the upper part of her body, it's pretty wide, especially the sleeves. If you look at that, they're super wide, and to the side. Then when we go down, the skirt is getting tighter, basically. And then, because the buttons are opened, it gets wider again. So you kind of have this hourglass form from her clothes alone, in the style, which is interesting for me.
Yes.
Interesting design element they put in there. Okay.
So overall, I would say it's a 9 out of 10 for me.
9.5 out of 10.
Okay, I see that.
The buttons away, and I'm in the tens.
Okay.
But one of the best outfit of Taeyeon ever.
Yes.
So, now that we settled this, last but not least, let's talk about our rankings. We, of course, voted once again.
I don't have my...
We voted again for our, at this moment in time at least, a dream team for Queendom Puzzle. And interesting is, you said last week that you may change your approach on voting this time, and I'm really curious if that actually changed anything for you.
1 second. I just had to take my phone. I'm not... I don't know why I wasn't preparing it, because I knew it would happen, but somehow, I don't know, I'm just a tart. But I can say it changed. I can say already it changed. But I can't remember all this. That's why I'm just...
That's okay. While you're checking, I can tell mine.
Yes.
Because for me, actually, nothing changed. My ranking stayed for this week exactly the same as last week. Last week, you may remember that I've got a new member in my top 7, which is Wiso. And she definitely maintained her spot for this week. For now, I have Nana, Rina, Bora, Ellie, G1K, and Wiso in my team. And I'll be completely honest, guys. If I think about the upcoming Only One performance, there may be more changes in my top 7. Like, I see a lot of potential for Zone. I already thought this week if I want to include her, but I didn't yet. But if the performance is half as good as I think it's going to be, I already know that a person is going to leave my top 7. I think I also know who, but that I will not spoil, obviously.
Of course not. Oh, Jesus.
Did you find your top 7?
I did it. I should prepare just screenshots, because mnet's app is the biggest.
Yeah, definitely screenshots. I always do that.
It's not as worse as Universe, but bro, literally they can't do apps. I'm so mad.
Yeah, Universe was sad.
So,
but it had great content at times, honestly.
Right.
BBG Stress Things, guys, watch it.
Right. So,
it's on YouTube.
And I have to adjust once more something I realized this week again. I'm learning. Yeah. For next week, I'm not rating after we watch it immediately. I rate it when I'm like preparing and watching the performances more often, like 2 or 3 times. Because this time, I'm not satisfied after like watching the performances more. Because the problem on like is I was so overwhelmed when we watched the episode the first time. Literally, I was so overwhelmed in like the new performance. There happened so much that my mind, literally my like my synapses were like totally like a knot going into the next.
You zimmed,
of course, and I couldn't really like for the first time the fighting performance. When I watched it the first time on my own, it was totally different for me. So, the approach I have to go it's definitely different on that. So yeah, I have implemented many things. I like have rated the snap and charismatic performances because we saw them in this episode, right? And the nude and the fighting performance. So
Me too.
based on that, there were so many people to choose. And I did one big thing I'm mad about, and that is that I did not appreciate
Ellie.
that I did not appreciate Ellie that much in like the first watch.
Okay.
For now, she is like the one, and that makes me super angry because normally she would be over all of them, all of the ones I have right now in my picks. But yeah, so normally.
Okay, so if in the end Ellie doesn't make it into the group, you know who to thank.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Guys?
So and I will tell you two variants. I will tell you the one I have made immediately after the episode. It's Nana, Doa, Yorum, Judy, Jiwoo, Chian, and Wieso. Right? And the thing.
What, Rina and Twiso?
No, Nana, Toa, Yorum, Judy, Jiwoo, Chihan, and Wieso.
Chihan, Wieso. Okay,
right.
Okay.
So you can see the new performance had an impact on me. Like, I really loved it and how they executed it. So I wanted to give them all a go for this one. And yeah, wanted to give Judy, Jiwoo a go as well for like the fighting performance. Basically, Ellie as well. Ellie would have changed, or I would change Ellie with Yorum in that regards, and everything else would be fine. But I chose like Yorum and Riso from like the set performances. They did so well. We are such MVPs for me. But Ellie is such the biggest MVP of all in this episode. I just realized, so I'm a bit mad about it. So yeah, I won't vote after the episodes. I will take 1 or 2 days. I just learned it. But overall, yeah, it changed so much. Like it changed. Half of it changed.
Okay.
And that's just now. For like to give a little introduction for next performance, I will then rank all 6 performances. And not just the 4 in that episode.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Then, really last but not least, we also had a comment on the last episode that I also want to point out. Kaplan. It looks like a Kepler fan here. Great taste, I want to say. I have a similar approach. Loveless K, Weekly, Jihan, Cherry, Bullet, Border are non-negotiable for me. I will vote for them no matter what. Yeah, there we talked about the different ways you can think about voting. Yes. If you have people who are just going to be there because you love them so much, you just want to have them in there. Or if you are really like completely open, say no, I will always go with exactly the people that changed my mind in an episode and something like this. So really interesting. Thank you for that. Because yeah, it is kind of also my way of going about this. Like technically, I say I am willing to kick everyone out, but for someone like, for example, K, a lot has to happen that happens. Like, it's not impossible, but near close.
Yeah, yeah, I know that.
I would say, but yeah, I'm really curious. Like for me, I became such a huge fan, for example, of Rina and Wiso. alone through the performances on Queendom, but now also through deep diving into Hikey, that I actually have to say that those two are also pretty solid there. Like before I kick Rena and Huiso, there are others in my group that I would kick before, which is something I wouldn't have thought before. But it's interesting how all of this changes.
Yeah.
And I'm curious how this is going to continue and how our top 7 will look in the end, and how different they will be from the actual top 7.
It's like the decision to just go with like performances is, I don't know, it felt so weird, like voting for like the last time, because it's there were so many I had not in it, and I was like, oh, I can't, and somehow I'm putting there some votes and there some votes, and it feels like not being very like supportive, solid in a way, but I can't do it other way, because I can't pick 7 people out of it. I can't pick 7 people when there are 14 or even more I want to support.
But you have to.
Exactly.
We all do. And we will continue to do so in the next week, of course, when we are discussing together episode number 4 of Queendom Puzzle. Guys, I hope you had a lot of fun with this episode. Please let us know your opinions, your rankings, and your opinions, especially about the performances that we have seen. Your rankings that maybe have changed, maybe not. Let us know everything in the comments below, so we can check out your opinions, so we can talk about it here in the podcast. Of course, you're always getting a shout out for taking that time out of your daily life. Thank you so much for tuning into this podcast. Thank you so much for always listening to it. It's really cool to see that there are really so many people who enjoy listening to this. And who hopefully think of this as a nice addition to their enjoyment of watching Queendom Puzzle. So guys, thank you so much for your attention, and I hope to see you next time to the next episode. Bye.
Thank you and bye.